Unbelievable. Is this truly what has become of my teacher?
Father! Father!
Ike.
Hold on.
Now then, will you give me what I came for? I don't have it. I threw it away. Huh. You, who knows better than any what it truly is, threw it away. Surely you can craft a more plausible lie. You're not even trying anymore. I'm done talking to you. So there's no way for me to get my answers, is that it? The dead keep their secrets, or so it is said. But you, however, you are not dead yet. I wonder, will watching your son's face grow pale, his eyes grow dim as his life bleeds away? And then your daughter, oh, the horrors I will visit upon her. Will that loosen your tongue, perhaps? I suppose we will simply have to see.
What?
No! Ike! Ike! I won't check my hand again. Give me what I am after. If you offer no more resistance, I will leave your child alive. Stop! You will not touch my son! What is this? The King of Beasts? How bothersome. Do I retreat? Eh?
You're not going anywhere.
Tell me, is the son as stupid as the father?
Father!
Ike, stop. There's no way you can win.
But...
Ike, you will not continue? Then I will finish. So close. Now is not the time for me to deal with him. You get to keep your head today, boy. Blast. So willful. So arrogant. Of course, the one who made him that way was me.
Father? Father, hold on! I can't do anything here. I've got to get you back to the castle.
Ike.
Father, you're awake.
There's something I need to tell you.
Tell me later. Right now I'm getting you back to the castle.
Forget about revenge. Leave that night alone. Stay away.
What? Father?
Stay with the King of Gallia. Live here. In peace.
Father, stop talking. You're wasting your strength, please.
I need you to take care of everything. The company. Mist.
Wait, you mustn't say such things. It'll be light soon. You'll be fine. A little longer. Stay a little longer. Welcome back, everyone, to episode 9 of our Fire Emblem Path of Radiance Let's Play here on PlayerTwoFirst's channel. We are going to jump right into this one. Not waste any time.
What's wrong, Ike?
Done already?
Oh, was I supposed to be sad?
Come on, son. You'll never beat me with that attitude.
I'm just excited to record more videos.
Me too.
Ha ha ha! Think you're as stubborn as your mule-headed father?
No, just playing with dad, shoulders you in the face.
Hey, you gotta be ready for the military life.
Classic dad.
Ike, grow up big and strong. I believe you've got the makings of a great warrior.
Father, this isn't a dream, is it? This is all real. Mist. The sun's going down and it's getting cold. Come on, let's go. Mist?
Oh, Ike.
Mist.
Why? Why?
I was at his side, but I couldn't save him. I'm sorry. It's so unreal.
Dad's gone. He's gone, Ike. I don't know what to do.
Don't worry. I'm here.
Brother.
I'll lead the company in Father's stead. And I'll protect you all. You, the princess, everyone. I'll protect you. You'll see.
No. Brother. Ike. No.
Mist?
I won't allow it. I can't lose you. Don't you see? If you go, then I'll be all alone. I won't allow it.
I'm not going anywhere. I promise you, Mist.
I got into that.
Yeah, you did. I was like, almost tearing up. Oh my god. How did you pull that off? I've seen this how many times?
I just felt it, man.
I've read this how many times? I was like having trouble. I had to lower my face so that you couldn't see that. Like I was like, oh man, that was tough. I like my face, my mouth's definitely quivering there.
Sorry, everyone. Whew.
Let's lighten it up a little. It's not the scene.
Jeez, back into it. Commander Grail, why is this happening? Why is any of this happening? Why now? First Crimea, and now you.
Ike.
Oh, Ike! Where's Mist?
She's resting in her room. Reese and Rolf are with her.
That's good. She needs to sleep. She's been through too much. We all have. You should rest too, Ike.
I'll be alright. Grief won't bring my father back to life. I know I've been a burden on the both of you, Titania, Soren. I just need to thank you both for staying here with me. Not at all.
There's no need. Don't trouble yourself.
So, where is everyone?
Ike, to tell the truth,
Yes?
Boyd and I are back. How did it go?
I can't believe it! They just left and they didn't take one look back! Heartless scum! I'll never forgive them! Boyd? What's going on? Ike! Are you alright? I'm fine. Tell me what's happened. Start talking. Well, it's... What I mean to say is... Shinon and Gatry have left us. Soren! What? There's nothing to hide, is there? They left? Both of them? Why did they... Oh. I see. They left because of me, didn't they?
Ike.
Titania told us you were going to be the new commander. Shinon just about exploded. He and Gatry left not long ago.
We went after them. We tried to talk things out, but it was a waste of time.
We all knew that Ike was going to inherit the command of the company, didn't we? It just happened sooner than we wanted. It was Grail's decision. If some of us aren't satisfied with that, there's no reason we should stop them from leaving. As far as losing fighting strength is concerned, we can solve that by adding new members. How can you say that? After all the battles we've been through together, how can you say that?
Forgive me, Ike. I wasn't able to stop any of this.
It's not your fault, Titania. They did what they felt they had to do. They didn't want to lose their lives to an inexperienced commander.
Ike, don't talk about yourself like that.
I'm not saying that to gain anyone's pity. It's the truth. But even so, I have no intention of giving up command of this company.
Ike? Then what will you...
I'm going to follow my father's wishes. I'm going to assume command. If everyone will accept me, that's what I'd like to do.
Of course. I'd already made up my mind. That's what I was going to do all along.
What? So now you want me to start calling you boss, is that it? Well, I can do that. Boss it is. I'm in too. Reese. Missed to sleep. I know I missed most of the conversation, but I have a good idea of what you've been discussing. Commander Ike. Yes, it does have a nice ring to it. What about you, Soren? Ike. I'm not sure what help I could be to you. What place is there for me in a mercenary company anyway? You are so weird. I've always depended on you, haven't I? I need your tactical knowledge. I need your objectivity. You're not going to leave me, are you, Soren? Don't worry. I'll be here, watching over you. Thank you. I know I'm not as experienced as most of you. I'm going to make some mistakes, but I'll try not to let you down.
Well, you're going to have a lot to learn about being commander. I'm glad you're serious, because it's a lot of work.
Tell me everything.
First, you'll need to understand company expenditures. Then we'll talk about ensuring that everyone is properly outfitted. And we can't forget the need to gather good intelligence. Oh, and you'll want to know everyone's abilities and relationships.
Uh-huh.
Earlier I spoke with a merchant caravan that's taking refuge here in the castle. They fled Crimea at the same time we did. I told them who we are and they asked if they could travel with us. I think they're worried about protection from Dayan. In exchange, they've offered us a good rate on weapons and on items and weapons. They'll also buy items and forge weapons for us.
Uh-huh.
They also said we could use their wagon to store our goods. That's one more worry off our minds.
Uh-huh.
So anyway...
Titania!
Yes?
I know I said tell me everything, but... this is too much. I can't keep up. Maybe I shouldn't learn everything in one sitting. Can you show me the ropes along the way? Is that alright?
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry, I got a bit carried away.
I'll take over for now. Why don't you get some rest?
I'm alright.
You worry too much. Get some rest, that's an order. I'll do my best to manage.
Yes, Commander.
Okay.
So here we are at the base.
Brand new screen. So let's go quickly for the once. Again, every thing we do like one time. We'll go quickly through what these are. So outfit, this is where you will be able to pick your character's items, move them around, trade, do all that kind of stuff, equip different things. Manage is actually a really interesting screen. We'll just go into it. There's two options. You can either award experience or go into their skill menu. So awarding experience, during battles, you'll get this thing called bonus experience. You'll see we have 1,320 points, I guess is the unit. And you can award them bonus experience up to 100 total bonus experience. 100 bonus experience will get them 100 experience points higher. And you'll notice on the side that it'll stop me if I click to the right at exactly the level, or it can go up one at a time. And if I do decide to give someone bonus experience, here, I'll do this for an example on, I don't know, who's low leveled right now.
Soren?
Yeah, we'll do Soren. So, he only needs 5 experience anyway, so we'll just give him the 5 experience, and what you'll see is that you can add the 5 points, it goes up to 0, it's a straight level up, and it's a real, just as normal level up as any other. This happened to be really bad, but that is what it is. It'll give him his random stats as per usual, and so it's just a normal level up. You can do this with other characters, you know, if you wanted to give them experience. It's good with high level characters too, because they can get, you know, 1 experience point, still gives them 1. But you'll notice that sometimes, as I go up, like this one, this experience point costs me 2 of our bonus experience points up the top. So it's not a 1-to-1 ratio for the bonus experience to how much experience that your character gets. So you'll notice to go up 100 experience here brings us down almost 200 total experience. And that is because she is high leveled. It is because we're getting her a full level up and stuff like that. So for Soren, you get 5 experience, not a big deal. For a character, you get 100. That's a lot. The other thing is skills. During battle, we can pick up skills. I don't know where this one came from. But we picked this up at some point. You get these scrolls during battle, and then you can use them here. The number next to the name is how many points it costs, and if you look at the capacity on the left-hand side, that is how many points we have. So, if you give this skill to somebody, it costs 5 points out of their capacity. This skill, Miracle, makes that if they're going to take lethal damage, they take half damage instead, which is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Next up, oh yeah.
As you'll see later when we pick up skills, when you actually get them in battle and you go to see what they actually are, all it says is allows you to acquire skill, whatever, at a base. So in the manage menu there is the only time you can actually see what a skill actually does.
Yeah. Next up is support. We'll go through support in a second. After that is info. We'll also go through info in more depth. Save as usual, and end is when you leave the base. So support, going back to that, your characters can support with other characters. And what this means, and this actually is a conversation we want to have if I'm not mistaken. So if they are white, you'll see both characters will show up in white here. That means they are ready to have their support conversation. Each character, as you see in the bottom right-hand corner, has 5 total conversations, and each character they can converse with 3 times. It starts out at a C, then it will become a B, then it will become an A. You'll know with 5 conversations, you can only have one character reach A with one other character. So that way, we do have characters that we want to have these conversations for various reasons, whether stats, whether interesting storyline stuff. And so we will be doing these throughout the game with all of the characters that we'll be using during our playthrough. The first of which we will see right here, right? I am not
Oscar B.
incorrect about that. Yes. Hey, Oscar, can you spar with me for a sec? Wait, where are you going?
Sorry, Ike, no time. I have to prepare the evening meal today.
You? Where's Mist?
She's off practicing with her staff. It's been a while since I cooked. I hope I haven't lost my touch.
I haven't had one of your suppers in ages. I'm looking forward to it.
Really?
Yeah, of course. You're a great cook. Why do you ask?
Well, I never knew that. Mist, Shannon, and Reese were the only ones who ever commented on the subtle spices and flavors that I use. I mean, my brothers are used to my cooking, and Soren hates everything. I think he'd stop eating if he could. Sure, Commander Grail, Titania, Gatry, and you ate everything on the plate, but I feel like you'd eat anything.
Oscar, I didn't just shovel the food into my mouth. I enjoyed it. I really did. Remember the first day that Mist took over your cooking duties? Oh, just thinking about that makes me ill. Even my father was having trouble choking it down. But I think Mist is finally starting to get the hang of it.
Just like you're training to improve your swordsmanship, Mist is training to improve her culinary skills. You should give her more support. Hearing someone say, delicious, is the best encouragement a cook can get.
I see. Then I'll make sure to say, delicious, from now on.
Thanks.
So you'll see that there's little cute conversations that they'll have. Each one you can only have one time. And lastly is the info. Now, info is interesting. Every single one of these is a separate individual conversation that Ike is going to have with a character. The number of stars on the right-hand side indicates how many value, I guess it is.
Yeah.
So it kind of tells you what's going to happen out of it. If it is a 1-star conversation, as these 4 are, it is just a conversation and nothing else. If it is a 2-star conversation, it means you're going to get information about either future events via the next chapter. You can get information about characters that you can maybe recruit. You get future information. And if it's 3 stars, you actually physically get something or someone out of the conversation if you have it. So if you're not playing for the story, which why are you playing Fire Emblem if you're not playing for the story, you can kind of skip all of the 1-star conversations. 2 stars are helpful for like learning things about the mechanics, learning like tricks, learning, secrets. Sometimes they'll hint at like bonus experience you can get, and you should never skip a 3-star conversation. So we're gonna go through these, each of them, every chapter. We won't give them like this kind of introduction. We'll just jump right into them and go through them with you guys every chapter.
You know what they are now.
Yeah.
Well, hello. You must be the young commander I've heard so much about. My, and you are a young one, aren't you?
And you must be from the merchant caravan Titania told me about. The one that asked to travel with us?
Yup, that's us.
Must have been fate that brought us all here together. If you'll offer us protection, we'll supply you with the provisions you require. At a reasonable price, of course. What do you say? It's for the greater good of us all, wouldn't you agree?
Well, it is a sound proposition.
Yes, then we have an agreement. I'm the weapon merchant Mustin. I'll be sure to stock the weapons you prefer.
And I am Amy, a vendor of various goods. I have a wide variety of items for sale. I hope you'll stop by soon.
My name's Jorge. I buy things. Anything, really. You got weapons or items you don't need, bring them to me.
My name's Daniel. I'm a craftsman. I specialize in made-to-order items.
He's just looking completely the wrong direction right now.
He has trouble.
Hey, I'm Daniel. Sounds like someone I know.
Who?
There's one last item to cover. If you'd like, we can also act as a storage warehouse of sorts, carrying your extra things. What do you think?
That would be fantastic. We recently left our stronghold and I was afraid we'd have to carry our goods ourselves. I am happy to take you up on your offer.
Very good. Well then, may our enterprise be profitable for us all.
God, that's a fun voice.
You're not gonna have a throat by the end of this game.
No, I go right in for the hard voices, dude. So they actually mentioned something really important there, and we can go through what that 2-star conversation is when I'm going through the items in our store, when I'm actually going through the items and doing things that don't require us to talk. Dan will explain what they actually told us right there. I hear someone. Is it coming from over here? I wasn't sure how to deliver that.
Why? Grail. Why you? Why did you have to? Why? Tugging at the heartstrings.
What's going on, Rolf?
Oh, Ike, if you're wondering about Mist, she just fell asleep.
Really? Sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you, Rolf.
It's alright, I don't mind.
It's getting late. You should get yourself to bed.
I will. But,
What is it?
Mist is just fine. You're here, Ike, so she's fine. I mean, she's going to be just fine.
Huh?
That's all. Well, good night.
Rolf. Thank you. Hey, working already, Ike. If you need any help, just let me know. Boyd, how do you feel about this? About what? About me being the new commander. Before, you hated the idea, right? So, I want to know the truth. Will you really take orders from me? Well, I know what you can do and what you can't. I don't know if I want you in charge if things get really dangerous, but on the other hand, this is what Commander Grail wanted. He had faith in you, and I've got faith in him. The commander hired both Oscar and me. When our dad died, I was the one who had to care for baby Rolf. I had no clue what I was supposed to do. Oscar received a discharge from his military service and came home, but life was hard. Well, that's when Commander Grail found us. He gave us jobs, a place to sleep, food on our plates. He gave us our lives back. Boyd, you've all worked off any debt you may have owed him. You don't have any obligation to me. This isn't about obligations anymore. Commander Grail always said we were part of one big family, didn't he? I'll do anything to protect my family. That's why you can always count on me. I see. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. But don't you ever try to hold us at arm's length. You got that? Don't worry about that. I'm gonna work you to the bone. Oh, really? I'll take whatever you can dish out. Try me. I'm gonna talk a lot here. Reese. Ike. What were you doing? I was praying. For my father? Yes. You see, the commander, he... Reese? I'm sorry. I know this must be so much harder on you. Forgive me. A long time ago, my father told me a story. It was about the dead. He said the more tears we shed, the more blessings they receive in the hereafter. I envy you, Reese. For some reason, I can't seem to cry at all. Reese, if you could shed a tear for me too, I'd be grateful. Ike, I would be honored. Thanks, Reese. Thanks for caring so much about my father. Alright, so if you want to go through what that first info was, we're going to try to keep the feels to it.
It's a tough chapter.
Yeah, this is a feelsy one.
I mean, the crux of it is as you go into shop. If you're in a certain character who needs a new item, you can go into the little green.
We also get this.
Well, yes. Okay, so Convoy, what Mustin had been saying is that we can store all our items in their wagon, and that's what Convoy is. So now what that means for us, battle to battle, is if someone is full up, if Boyd has 4 axes and he picks up a heal staff or a fire tome from some visit, then instead of throwing something away, he can send it to Convoy, and we can keep all of the extra things, and we don't need to worry about people not having full inventories. So then beyond that, what Mustin was saying is if you go to the shop option and you go to the armory, then you can buy weapons from him. If you go into the shop option and you go to the shop section, you can buy things like healing staves and vulneraries and miscellaneous other things that Amy has gathered along the way. And then you can also go to... Does Daniel Forge? I know we just read it, but golly. Daniel Forge's weapon, so you can make a weapon, you can... make it really strong, you can make it really light, you can make it really, whatever. You can change the color. And the more you edit it, basically, the more expensive it is. And then you can sell items back to Jorge at half value of the item.
Yep, and one thing to note about these items, I unequipped this by accident. If you want to figure out bands too while you're at it.
Yeah.
One thing to note about these items is the items that they are selling here, be warned, they don't sell the same items every chapter. That is one thing Dan and I do not have memorized, is which items they actually sell. And it is worth noting that sometimes it is worth front-loading on items you know you're going to use a lot when you see them in the shop, because they may not be there later. So right now, everyone I think has a band, but we have extra bands as well.
What are the bands that we have?
So we have sword,
what are the extra bands that
Sword, Paladin, Mage, and Priest are all untouched.
Sword, Paladin, Mage, and Priest. We don't need to do anything with Mage and Priest yet. Oh, we could give Priest to someone for resistance.
Either probably Ike or Oscar then, because Boyd's not going to have any anyway.
Well, right.
Ike's got Archer.
Well,
Oscar's
we want to
got
give it to
Fighter.
the... Okay. I get, low, but not the most low, I guess. Let's give it to...
You're going to take...
Oscar.
You're going to take the Mage band right now.
Yeah. So yeah, let's give the Priest band to Oscar.
He's got Fighter right now, so...
Oh.
Everyone has a band.
Okay, no, right, you're right. Leave that for now. What were the other? Sword and Paladin?
Yeah. Should I give Paladin to Mia? Or Sword to Mia?
I mean, you can.
They're just sitting there.
No, those aren't the same. Paladin is HP and speed, which would be great for Mia. Sword is skill and luck, which, fine, but...
Yeah. And then Titania gets Sword or Priest.
Sword.
Oh my god.
Because she needs more skill and luck.
Yup. So you have range, you don't, you do. Whatever. Swordsman, don't get ranged attacks.
No, give her the Priest band.
That's all I was doing.
Cool. Is that everything?
So everyone's full stocked.
Cool.
For this chapter. This is... I think I know what chapter this is.
Good morning, Ike. How are things going? Does everything look good?
Titania, did you get enough rest?
Enough as could be expected given everything that's been going on. But now we've got some business to deal with. First, we need some new recruits. But our audience with King Gallia comes first. Any word from the palace?
No. Nothing yet. According to the Lagoos who brought our food, we should be receiving word sometime soon, but... Ike, I've got bad news. Look out the window. What a chapter.
What a chapter.
Am I doing the thing?
Yes.
Okay. That's not what I think, is it? If I'm not imagining things, that's a squad of Dayan soldiers. Why do they have to show up now? What gives? We're inside Gallia's borders, aren't we? They must be out of their minds to pursue us this far.
If they've come this far, I'm sure getting out of here alive was never one of their priorities.
We're in trouble. They have us completely surrounded. We cannot escape.
So many of them, and so few of us. It doesn't look good, does it?
Doesn't matter. We have to fight. Grail mercenaries, ready yourselves.
Yes, sir.
I'll begin formulating a strategy immediately. Wow, that's the nerdiest thing he's ever said.
Ike! Brother!
Missed. I want you and Rolf to go back in and hide. Go in the back and hide.
But Ike!
Just do it now. Everything will be fine, but I need you to do this, alright?
Alright, be careful. It's happening again! My medallion's glowing! Mother, Father, if you can hear me, please watch over Ike. Please, will you protect him?
All right. So for the first time, actually, I shouldn't say it yet.
Okay.
Because there's more text.
Right.
You guys have suspense now. There's something happening for the first time. All right, everyone, are you ready? Grail mercenaries, move out. All right. For the first time, we have a couple of new options here before I get into anything else. You'll see go back, which is possibly the strangest option that they allow you to do in the game, at least in terms of like
in world.
In world,
yeah.
Basically, it means we run back inside and can go back to base and buy new things and re-equip ourselves.
Yeah.
We'll be trying to avoid this, but because we know the game, we can avoid this. If you need it, take advantage of it. I mean, why not? It's there.
There's really no reason to avoid it. We don't even really have a good reason to avoid it. Just since this is the 956th time we've each played this, we'll be like, yeah, what the heck?
Yeah.
Why not? We'll avoid that.
And then there's choose units, which now, for the first time, we can actually take units and unselect them. We have no units like sitting and waiting, but we do have units so we can take up to 7, but we can take fewer. Ike as green is always required on every chapter in the entire game, so get used to him.
Fun side note, there is a thing called the Ike Challenge, which is you only use Ike ever, unless there are other units who are also green, in which case you just kind of put them off on the side.
Yep. Now, what I was going to say, this is the first thing of, this is the first chapter, fun fact, in which I can lose. I've had units die in this chapter to basically no fault of my own. It's just sometimes you get really unlucky with rolls, and sometimes your units just don't take the hits that other times they do, like they had bad level ups and stuff. And I don't usually find out if a unit has had a bad level up or anything until this chapter. It is on this chapter that I suddenly discover that my units suck. So hopefully we don't discover that here, but it is entirely possible that we will.
Another thing that we're going to do starting now is we're actually going to turn the battle animations off.
Thanks, Dan.
And when we have acquired a new member, when we go into the next battle, we'll set animations to individuals so we can still show you what their animations look like. But in general, for all the units that we've already had before, we're going to leave the animations off so that we can get through the chapters faster, because as I'm sure you can already tell, they're getting longer, and the things that we need to do are getting longer, and obviously we're not going to need to explain the entirety of base every time, but
yeah,
we're in the longer zone.
Yeah,
for sure.
So it's interesting because our videos are going to get longer, and then they're actually probably going to get shorter for a little. Oscar, like I said, you just get bad rolls in this chapter sometimes, but they're actually going to get shorter for a little while because we'll stop explaining mechanics of the game. And the chapters won't quite increase, and then they'll increase again, and they'll get longer again. So you might see that our videos are going to get a little longer, and then shorter, and then longer again. That's just part of the way the game's going to go.
Yeah.
But as you can see how much faster it is for enemies to take turns, for everything to like happen when we don't have the battle animations on. Now this is one of the more interesting parts of this chapter is Oscar. He's usually fine. 90% of the times I play this chapter, Oscar's okay. But, you know, I can't guarantee almost anything in this chapter. I would say 95% of the time Titania's fine over here, but sometimes she gets overwhelmed. I gave her a hand axe, she should be okay, but I've had her run out of hand axes somehow. Like, this chapter's weird. Like, there's a lot of RNG that goes into it. If you don't know what that particular acronym means, RNG is random number generation. It's an acronym that you'll get really used to if you ever watch speedruns or a lot of video games that require a lot of random calculations that go into them. So level ups for us are RNG based. They're just, the game generates a random number and it gives you that value. And hits in this game, when you have a 90% chance to hit that bowman and you miss, that's RNG, or random number generation. Rearing its ugly head. I said playing its ugly head. That doesn't make any sense.
Oof.
I unequipped the regal sword.
Yeah.
I forgot this is why I had it equipped.
One interesting thing that I find about this chapter, and it may be an easy versus normal thing, but I think the last time we played through it, we sort of showed that it wasn't quite that. But the way that I do this chapter is actually largely different than the way that Robert does this chapter. So what I do is Oscar and Ike having their fancy schmancy new support relationship, and because of the types that they are, which we'll definitely go into later, they give each other higher avoid, which means that they're less likely to be hit by an attack. I put them two on the left, and I have them work their way up the corridor a little bit until the chapter comes to an end. I put Titania in the middle because she, in my history, has given me the best success with all those horses. And then I have Boyd, Mia, and Reese over on the right side so that Boyd can cover the stairs. Only one or two people can attack him at a time. He does a fair job of dealing out a bunch of damage, and then I can just heal him with Reese, and, well, fairly soon you'll see what this strategy is. I'll let you see for yourself.
Yeah, this is the way that I play this chapter, and it actually isn't as much to do with normal versus easy as it is to do with holding versus offensive. My strategy allows me to be a little bit more aggressive, because by putting Titania on that side, even though there's the most units, she also kills the most units the fastest. So Oscar is literally going to sit here for the entire chapter and just get wailed on by these guys and kill as many of them as he possibly can. Crits help. Actually hitting helps, but he'll kill as many of them as he possibly can, and if he gets through all of them, which, you know, he does half the time and doesn't half the time, great, he gets a ton of experience. If he doesn't, then I don't really worry about it. Ike and Boyd on the other side will be doing their thing for the whole chapter as well. Titania will clear that space out completely, and she'll actually be able to go attack the boss, and the boss does have an item that I want. So that is why I go with this strategy as opposed to the other one. I think Dan also can be aggressive a little bit later on in the chapter, but he goes through the horses instead of through those characters on the side, right?
Well, I actually have the same experience. So what I do is Oscar and Ike make their way up to the stairs. Boyd, Mia, and Reese end up getting over into the grass on the right, and then whether Titania makes it through and gets to the boss first, or the other three actually can make it all the way around on particularly good runs of this chapter for me.
Yeah, it's funny because this chapter is just weird for everybody.
It's a tough chapter.
Yeah, they do not mess around on this chapter.
No,
but at the same time, it's like sometimes you lose and you just don't feel like it's your fault.
Right.
Like, you just couldn't have done anything differently, and you're like, well, and then you play it exactly the same way the second time, and you get it perfectly. Mm-hmm. I think on our practice run, I lost in this chapter, if I'm not mistaken. I think I was playing the chapter and I lost it.
It was my turn, and yeah.
And you'll note that both of us put Ike in the same place. There is a reason for that. Ike has to be over there.
Yeah.
So if you're playing along with us, literally like side by side, you can do my strategy, just follow it exactly. Or whatever you want, just make sure Ike's over there. Yeah. Oh my god. She is not having good luck right now. No. So the thing about it is that every one she doesn't kill, he gets another chance to attack her because she can only attack one unit a turn, and she's going to attack the bowman this turn because he's the only one she can't counterattack. So that guy with magic gets another chance to hit her. Now she'll kill him next time, sure, but that doesn't mean that, you know, that's not what I wanted right now. And Ike and Boyd just kind of sit there and do things. Now this healer he's the worst.
Yeah. As soon as I have a reliable hole, I'll take Titania down, kill the healer, and go back. And just not even worry about it, because as soon as the healer's gone, your life gets so much easier.
Yeah, healer's just the worst.
Adept.
So you can see Adept on the overworld as well, and he critted.
Wow. We talked back in episode 2 about the weapons triangle, and we mentioned how, you know, swords are the fastest and have the best hit, are the weakest. Lances have decent strength and decent hit, and then axes are really strong and have poor hit. The magics are similar. So wind, like swords, is weaker but has a much greater hit and greater speed. Fire is decently strong and hits decently well, and then thunder hits really strong and is really strong and doesn't hit as well as the other two. No.
I'm an idiot. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Oh, kill that guy. I forgot to check if his Iron Lance had a lot of uses left. Whoopsie! This is me with this chapter. I mean, there's always something.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. I mean, it just means he may not get as much experience because he won't get all the kills. It just means he has to use his Steel Lance. So after this turn, assuming Titania does her job here, she should be able to progress. So I'm gonna stick around here for this turn, but if she kills those two, which she should, then I will be able to start pushing at the boss. In this chapter, we didn't really talk about the win condition for this chapter. It's the same as the other time you had a base. It's don't let the enemy hit that green square. But this time I think it's 8 turns.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. It's a decent Oscar turn.
8 sounds right.
That's what you're looking for.
The other one was 5, right?
There was 6.
6.
But this one will end if you defeat the boss. The other one did not.
Really?
I believe it does.
Okay.
They've panicked. No,
No, yeah.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
That's not this chapter. There is a chapter where if you defeat the boss, that ends the chapter, but it's not this one. So the other guy healed, so that's...
Right, well, there's a chapter that's defend or defeat boss.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll have 2 objectives for a chapter.
And you only have to complete 1. Oh! This is like terrible Titania luck. I mean, we'll kill the healer, but she's a turn behind. Which I don't love. Ooh. Okay, Ike's a turn ahead.
Ike does not care.
Ike is not camera shy. So you'll see that the lances are attacking the sword because they have the advantage. We talked about the AI a long time ago, but it's good AI. Ike is not camera shy. Holy cow, he gets really good level ups. He's also ridiculously high leveled right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Times 2 a swordsman.
Oscar will also get the kill on the healer, maybe. Ideally. But I can't swear to that.
Yeah. Similarly to their respective weapons, units who use the physical weapons, you know, the swords, the axes, the lances, will, like, swordsmen are faster, they're not as strong, and they have really high skill, they have really good hit chance. Lance wielders are pretty strong, middle of the road speed, and have decent hit, and then axe wielders are really strong, have piss poor hit, and they're usually pretty slow. So that's why I was so surprised when Boyd times 2'd that swordsman, because he has a slow axe wielder times 2'd a quick swordsman.
Yep. But I think he has enough strength now that his weapons aren't going to be a problem. Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, healers are great.
Red gem is money.
So yeah, he has the soldier man. That's why I want to kill him.
Aha. Is that Kimura? I just recognize his face.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I reckon. Wow. That's a thing that
No, I
you don't hear very often.
I recognized him by this level. No, at least the face. But yeah,
a part of me wishes Mia could stand there and take the hit so that Titania could actually run. Like she could dish the hit.
Yeah.
But I have Titania in the wrong spot for that. So she is a full turn behind, which is super frustrating.
It's rough, yeah.
What turn is it? 4. It should be okay.
Yeah.
I think I usually have a turn to play with, but that just means that I'll be Mad Dash.
Mad Dash.
End of chapter, Mad Dash. Just how you wanted it. All right. The reason you need Ike over here is for this specific purpose. There's one new command. We've seen it before. Have we seen it before? Yeah, we saw it before.
We saw it before.
We saw it with Marsha.
Marsha.
But we've never seen it on an enemy before.
Yeah. We saw it with Marsha and Mia.
Yes,
who
but
were both greenies.
We did not see it with Mia. Mia came with us.
Okay. You have that option with Mia.
If she doesn't reach your Ike can talk to her instead.
Yes.
But this time we see it on an enemy. Her name's Ilyana. Huh? Who are you? Did I have her?
I'm a traveling mage. My name is Ilyana. This castle... Oh...
Hey, you alright?
I'm sorry. This rain is so cold. I feel like I'm freezing.
You don't look too good. Are you sick? Do you need medicine?
You're awfully kind, aren't you?
You know, you don't look like any Dayan soldier I've ever seen. Are you really one of them, or have they press ganged you into service?
I was traveling with some merchants, but we got separated. I came here to escape this rain, but some soldiers in black found me. They thought I was a Crimean refugee.
Oh?
I tried to tell them who I was, but they wouldn't believe me. They said they would put me to the sword if I didn't help fight you. I'm very sorry.
Oh, I went too fast. Don't apologize. You didn't have any choice. If it had been me, I'd have done the same. But listen, I think I've seen the merchant convoy you were traveling with in the castle. There was a weapons vendor named Mustin, and I think a woman named Amy sold items.
That's them. Oh, that's incredible. Are they unharmed? Where are they?
They're fine. They're fine. In fact, we've all come to an agreement, and they're traveling with us now. I don't see any reason we should go on fighting. If you're with them, we can protect you from Dayan.
You're right. Yes. Would you please allow me to join your company too?
Well, that sounds fine, Ilyana. This is a dangerous place. Go ahead and seek safety within the castle. We'll hold off the enemy troops.
No. I'll fight too.
But you're sick.
You'll need some help. This isn't the full force of Dayan soldiers. More of them are waiting in the forest. You need me.
Well, I wish you weren't right, but it sounds like we will need your help.
I'm just glad to get away from those awful black-clad soldiers.
Now, Ilyana is my favorite mage, and it's a darn shame that we won't be using her in this run, because as will become clearly evident, you reach a certain point in the game where you have a max number of people you can bring to a battle. So you saw in this one it was 7 out of 7. There were 7 max you could bring, and to be fair, there are 7 units, but if there were 15, we still could only bring 7. So as we get towards the end of the game, you know, there are units that we kind of need to specialize to make sure that we have the best chance going into the final chapter, and alas, Ilyana is not one of them.
Yes, so we know the number of units the final chapter allows, and we will be building throughout the playthrough to make sure our team is prepared for that. However, hold on. I was supposed to put Titania back in space. I think you're good, though. I don't think any of these guys have range, so we're good.
Except the fire, which is so fine.
I'm not worried about that, even a little bit. But she does need to be healed, because the boss does actually do a decent amount of damage. But yeah, so we know the number of units. We're not going to necessarily reveal every unit we're going to use and which ones we aren't, but we will name some of our favorites that we miss out on in this particular playthrough.
Or that we do use, because we have some favorites that we do and don't use. When we might say, "Oh, there's so and so. They're my favorite something, and we're gonna use them. I'm so excited." Blah blah.
And there's 2 characters that Dan has used and loved that I have personally never found to be great in my own playthroughs that we will be using. And there are 2 units that I have found and loved that Dan has never loved in his personal playthroughs, and we will be using them to give each of us actually kind of a new experience playing through the game, because when you find your favorite units, you just use them over and over because they're good and they're your favorites. Titania!
Now, if I'm not mistaken, there's also either 1 or 2 that neither of us have ever used.
Yes. That both of us are inexperienced with. I don't know about never, but rarely. Oh my god, you're kidding. The hand axe broke. Okay.
No.
This is the way this chapter goes. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
Yes, I believe you're right. At least one I've never used. And then one that I've used once on a recommendation and was terrible. And then was told it's better. And in our practice playthrough, they were admittedly better than I realized they were going to be. But I believe you're close. You're right, if not dead on. Very close.
I cannot think of who the ones that we haven't used are. Yeah, no, I've heard amazing things. I just have never had success.
Yep. I'm going to start leveling up fire, I think. Or you
Okay.
think I should level up thunder?
Fire probably.
Okay.
In some games, your anima magic level
Get your one strength, please!
goes up. In this game, you have separate weapon levels for fire, thunder, and wind, which is a big ol' bummer.
Okay, so he does 7, and they both missed, and I want Boyd to get the experience instead of Ike, so I'm gonna let Boyd do it again.
Great.
Yep, that's where we're at right now. Kill it.
Boom. Yeah. Poke it with a stick.
Okay. At that point, I'm just
Woo.
gonna be a little bit aggressive.
Bold.
Titania, please, I mean, you have no choice at this point. And I hate to do this, but again, we're in a position where Titania kind of blew it on this one.
You're just gonna hope.
So we're gonna... Yep. Let's see, how much do you do? Great. We can work with that. Maybe. How much do you do? We can't work with that. 12 and 9 is too much.
Brr.
If the other one attacks? Oops. Nope. Well, I have no choice.
Yeah.
Come help. I would move Ike, but I can't. Well, I probably can, actually.
Yeah, you probably can.
12. Yeah, he only takes 9. I didn't check speed. Yeah, he only takes 9. So, we're good.
Yay.
But Titania doesn't have a ranged weapon. Oh,
What? They still resist? Impossible. Fight, dogs. Focus. Focus and press forward.
so since Titania lost her ranged weapon, I actually need to be a little bit more aggressive because she actually has to go attack him because he will always use his javelin.
And you just need to not die.
Yeah, she should be fine based on how much damage she does. And I think I gave her a steel axe.
Well, if she takes 2 more hits from him, then she dies.
I thought it was...
She's at 17 and he does 10. He just put her at 17.
Oh my god. Titania had a really bad chapter.
Ooh. Oh.
Okay. I'll take that. I mean, I don't love it, but I'll take it.
Wow.
I'll take it. You were saying...
I mean, I don't even know if it's relevant anymore, but one approach that I'm sure I don't have to tell you is
short spear, not javelin.
go and attack him and then run out of his range.
Yeah.
So that he can't get you again.
Yeah. But then I have to make sure that he is still accessible. And
Well,
the other
yeah.
guys may block him.
Well, oh yeah, okay. I was gonna say you can't get so far away that he's out of your range, but I forgot the blocking part.
One thing to remember, actually, is if you attack with a mounted unit, they can move afterwards. And you cannot select an enemy to see their range at that point. You can click Y and see their total movement and count it out if you want, but you cannot select them like this to make the orange box appear. But if I go for this attack, and he only has a 50% chance of hitting, so if he misses here, we're good. I don't have to leave his range.
I mean, you can still be attacked by 3 other people,
True.
which 3 people with 5 HP is not ideal.
She's done worse.
I might go.
That's fine. She'll be fine. We're good. You need to be healed. Please.
Please.
You... Go handle.
Boom.
This is why Ileana's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're not going to be using her long term. But Mia's going to be the one taking the next hit and needs to be alive for it. Ike might be able to take that, yeah, away from her, which I'm going to totally do.
Yay.
Ike's fine. He's at 19.
Yeah.
And I am just going to equip a steel sword, not the regal sword. Because the thing is, if I ran far enough away from the boss that he just doesn't chase me, that also doesn't help.
Right.
So I'm really hoping 50%. He hit once, he missed once, so we're back to neutral. So I can't like use statistics and be like, oh well, he's going to, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. I mean, that's not how statistics work in the first place anyway, but. Oh, that's fun.
Boom. Bam.
Wimblom. Oscar's do it. I mean, this like the thing is, I could do this chapter 100 times, and some of them Titania will just wreck those guys over there. Some of them Oscar will get destroyed. Like this time, he's having a fine time. It's at turn 5, and he's only got 1 horseman left. Meanwhile, Titania,
Oh.
he's fine. He's dead.
Woo!
I don't know why he didn't attack from range there.
Glory to Dayan.
Yeah, that is odd.
Yeah, it's really weird that he didn't attack from range there. But I mean, I'm not going to complain about it. It actually means that I bought extra turns because I was expecting to have to chase him down. Which is what I usually have to do when Titania runs out of a ranged weapon. Okay. So Ike's just going to chip away. That mage is over there now. I don't know what he's doing. Titania should be fine at this point to handle anything that comes at her.
Yeah.
Boss is the only guy who has a real threat. But we wanted that band. We're going to try to get all the bands, and they're in weird places, some of them, like that boss.
I thought you said Bob instead of boss. I was like, oh yeah, that Bob's a tough one.
Yeah, the bands and bobs. The bosses.
The Bob's band.
The band of the bob, the boss.
Oof.
So you'll see
Here they are coming out of the woods.
They just keep coming. Great.
Perfect.
Kill him.
Yay.
One thing you will note is that if you do miss, you actually don't use up a weapon. It doesn't like get closer to breaking, which makes sense. Mia, you can defend the base.
Mia, hold the fort.
You guys don't be over there, please. Boyd, come to here. Reese, go heal Boyd.
Wow, Boyd has roughly, oh my goodness, HP.
He was fine.
He was fine. He still had that.
Yeah, he was fine. Ike's at 19.
That's fine.
He's actually gotten a lot of resistance level ups this game. He starts with 0, like his default start resistance is 0. So out of this many level ups, which is like 11 or 12, he has 4. So that's okay. I can work with that. Titania could run that way. I'm just gonna kill this dude.
Yeah, might as well stay consolidated.
Yeah, at this point, I've done the mission that I needed to do with her.
So, the business in the musical I'm in is called Consolidated. So as soon as I started to say that, I was like, wait, that's not a real word. That's not what I mean. But it is.
There's nothing over here, right? Nope. Okay.
I mean, there's the knights, but...
Well, they're not close enough for her to deal with right now.
Right. Ileana, you also go there. No, we want them to get there.
A little bit of infighting between the women. Happens. We have no control over that.
They're just flirting.
Aggressively. It's just aggressive flirting.
I think you're cute!
They'll be spending a lot of time in base together, so... You could call them, basic?
You could.
I'm happy with it.
No, that was... See, okay. Here's my relationship with puns. I love puns. I make them all the time. I support people who make puns. However, I have slightly less patience for puns that don't have... like, lazy puns. Puns that are like, oh, this word can also be used in this word. I'll say it, but doesn't necessarily have the same meaning. Like, I would not describe them as basic. It's not that situation that we just described either.
But...
And basic doesn't mean at a base.
No, but... Okay. It was a joke about, like, teenage people, which
Sure.
they're of that age.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, they're probably in their mid-teens.
Yeah, so it was like a joke about, like,
All right.
it was a joke.
I could see Ileana with a vanilla chai latte.
All, like, literally every minute of every day.
Okay, yes.
No, I mean, obviously their characters aren't. But
Right.
it was a joke that if that's what they were doing,
Sure.
they were
No,
just
I'm not-
flirting aggressively with each other.
Well, that's not basic.
I know that's not basic.
So that's where the problem was.
You could still call it
You're
that.
usually dynamite.
My puns are... Oh, there's something. Boyd's also gonna get a couple levels here, which is super nice. We got through that swordsman that he could not, for the life of him, touch.
No.
Ike does not need more levels at this point on this chapter. They just keep coming. Look at them all. Look at them all.
Look at him. Look at him.
There are still more of them. Everyone, fall back to the castle. Regroup. Regroup within the castle. Yeah, we were having trouble. Parts in there. We were definitely having trouble. Blast! Not yet. Not yet. We will not fall. Gets lanced in the face.
Brother!
Mist, you're not supposed to be out here. I told you to stay.
I don't care!
Mist?
There's no way we can escape! This is it, isn't it? We're all gonna die here, aren't we?
Don't be foolish. No matter what happens, I'm making sure you and Rolf get out of here alive. Once you're out of danger, you go straight to the palace and stay with Princess Alincia.
No! I'm not going anywhere! I'm staying here with everyone! I'm staying with you! As long as I'm with you, I'm not afraid to die. We'll see Mother and Father. We'll all be together again. So please, stop telling me to leave you. I can't. I can't leave any of you again, alright?
Alright. Don't leave my side.
Thank you, brother.
But one thing. You're not going to see Mother just yet.
What?
I'm going to protect you. I'm not going to let you die. I gave Father my word.
Ike.
So few soldiers, and yet you managed to defeat our general. You have fought well, but it all ends here. Prepare to die. No! What happened? What was that? That's what that was. Filthy beasts, so strong. It's incredible.
Is that why people fear the Lagoos?
Gar, blasted, stinking beast.
So, are you two from the palace? Did the King of Gallia send you?
He did. I am Mordecai, warrior of Gallia. Your hair is blue. You are Ike. Is this correct?
That's right. I'm Ike. You saved us back there. Thank you.
Ranulph told me Ike is not a bad stranger. Mordecai and Ike, we will become friends.
You don't know that. You don't know if we can trust him. It's too soon to tell. He's a Bjork, a human. You know all humans have two faces.
They're the ones that literally have two faces.
Uh-huh.
Leith,
Bjork? What's that?
That's what you are. We with the power are Lagoos. You soft, hairless things with no power at all, you are called Bjork.
What did you say?
Leith, you are being bad. The king forbids this. We cannot fight with Bjork.
Most Bjork call us by hated names and look at us with eyes filled with scorn. Subhuman? Is that how Bjork treat their friends? Is that how Bjork treat their allies?
You're right. Some of us use that name far too readily. I guess if we had thought about it, we'd have realized it's not a polite term, but we didn't know you by any other name. I'm sorry. Rolls diplomacy.
You do no other name for us. Are we really so little to you, human? You who forced us into slavery. How easily you forget. But we Lagoos, we remember. We remember how we have suffered at your hands. The king can say whatever he likes. I will not trust you. I warn you now, never speak to me in such a way.
Leith.
What's your point? Did you come all this way to complain to us? Haha. Typical subhumans. Scum! Those who use that name are enemies of Gallia!
Subhuman. Enemy. He is enemy.
You think you're humans. The only thing human about you is your conceit, you filthy, hairy, subhuman. Mordecai, kill him! Ike! Ow. What?
Ike. Ike, I'm sorry. I have hurt you. I did not intend to hurt you.
That voice is tough. Mordecai, this injury is nothing. I'm fine. You're nothing but a beast. Soren, stand down!
Why did you stop me? He hurt you. He could have killed you. We can't let him get away.
If you hadn't provoked him, none of this would have happened, right?
But I'm sorry.
Mordecai, Leith, I apologize on behalf of my company. Please forgive Soren. It's a poor excuse, but we've recently lost some companions. We're tired and we're not thinking clearly.
Ike forgave Mordecai, so now I forgive Soren. No one need be angry.
I apologize as well. My behavior has been unkind. I forgot our mission, and I have blundered terribly.
Mission?
The king wants to see you. We are here to guide you to the royal palace.
I am going to destroy my voice by the end of this playthrough.
All right, so there we are. We've seen the despair. We've thankfully gotten to the hope. We met Ilyana, we met Mordecai and Leith, and now we're going to head towards the palace.
Yeah, it seems like we've got an escort that's plenty strong enough to get us there. So now it's a chance to meet up with the royals here in Gallia and see if we can get Elincia some sanctuary here.
And until then, see you later.